So the sequel to Godzilla vs. Kong is one which is kind of floating around. It's been in the ether for a little bit. We've got some more confirmation now. We had confirmation it was going to happen. We've had rumours and speculation that it was going to be the son of Kong. We thought Legendary was going to be moving forward and away from Godzilla, not because they wanted to, but more specifically due to the costing of getting the rights from Toho. This seemingly confirms that that deal is still on, this whole video. Godzilla vs. Kong sequel, whether it's a direct sequel or not, because we don't know, but a sequel as in it is the next in the film's franchise, you know, the film series, the MonsterVerse series, will feature Godzilla, which is a great piece of news. It's really, 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 really good because it either shows that Toho or Legendary, one of the two, they've come to some agreement where it's financially viable for them to continue. And you know what I think it stems from? I think it stems from Legendary licensing out, in conjunction with Toho, specific Western deals, like the Apple TV show, for instance. There's going to be a live action, you know, MonsterVerse universe series thing. The Skull Island Netflix anime thing. These are big licenses that they've managed to sort of shop out and get investors, because that's what they are, really interested in. So I'm guessing it's probably hinged on that. But let's dive into this. Let's take a look, because we do apparently have a release date now, and again confirmation that it will be featuring Godzilla, which is nothing but good news. Again, for many of the reasons that I have just outlined. And also as well, like, the reason why, because a lot of people seemingly think that, like, Kong is like a universal property. It's not. Kong's actually public domain due to, you know, how it was written, when it was written, and then the character from there on. There are iterations of it, which are, I guess, a version owned by people, but, you know, King Kong as a property is just public domain. I could make a King Kong film if I want. No specific rights holder. It's fallen into the realm of, you know, copyright public domain now, which is, I think, why people thought Legendary were just going to keep moving forwards with the MonsterVerse on him, because it costs no money essentially for licensing, and they can just make loads of money. So now we've got updates about Godzilla vs. Kong sequel. It's in the works from returning director Adam Wingard. Some people like him, some people don't. Let's just see where he goes with it. Legendary obviously liked him enough in terms of their working relationship with him. Maybe he was cheap as well. Again, we just don't know. Let's, you know, we can only speculate. So the big one is the ever so awaited release window. So the official Twitter of Godzilla vs. Kong revealed the MonsterVerse shall continue with the follow-up film on March 15th, 2024. So it's actually not that far away. And this is it. This is their official release. The MonsterVerse continues March 15th, 2024. So we're assuming that this is that. I don't see why it wouldn't be that. Because, I mean, there are other things in the works, but I doubt that's going to be the Netflix one. And I doubt that'll be the Apple TV series, because I don't think they would have had enough time really to film anything and get it majorly underway by that point. So it points to it logically being the MonsterVerse movie series that's continuing. So furthermore, it only gets better. According to Toho's official Godzilla website, the king of all the monsters will be back for the untitled adventure. Godzilla returns to the big screen in 2024 in the untitled sequel to 2021's Godzilla vs. Kong. So that then in turn confirms it as well. And the fifth installment in the MonsterVerse franchise, their announcement said. It's a bit annoying that, you know, you have this tweet which is very vague, and then you've got to go to Toho's website to get confirmation about it, about like what they're actually talking about. Legendary, you do need to step up your game just a little bit. It feels a bit lazy, you know, and you've done really well with your viral marketing and the comics and stuff. But that's lazy as shit. Sort it out. So anyway, they add that production starts in Australia later this year, which we'd already known about and I've done videos on. And the movie will be shown in IMAX screens. Cool. Good. The sequel to Godzilla vs. Kong comes out 3 years after its predecessor, which was one of the global highest grossing movies of the COVID era. And this was regardless of a simultaneous release on HBO Max, which is, I think, why Legendary's so angry with HBO, Warner Brothers, and probably why they really want to pump out a sequel, because they're like, well, I mean, it did really well. Let's fucking try and get this out there now. You know, try and get another one on the go. Again, loads of people didn't like that film. I get it. Legendary had to bite the bullet on that one, but they must be confident that they found the sweet spot for success. There's a good chance of being unmitigated between relaxed pandemic protocols and most theatres expected to be operating or near standard capacity. I mean, in the UK, like, everything's just normal here now. It's very rare you'll see anyone with a mask on. Yeah, it's very unusual to see people weird about COVID now in the UK. Obviously, we're in summertime. I'm hoping that will continue through to autumn and then winter, and people will be, you know, we sort of lose the that mentality. Anyway, I like the more relaxed vibe that's been around, because in the UK it was quite nasty during, you know, the whole sort of madness that was going on. It was quite a nasty atmosphere from some people, very judgy, you know. So anyway, granted, things can change by then. There are all sorts of variables of unknown, including the film's plot. Initial reports held Wingard as directing a Kong solo film dubbed Son of Kong, though it's unlikely to be any kind of remake of, you know, the other film with the same name. So Godzilla's return flips paradigm, because he may only have a small role instead of going another round with Kong, which audiences might want to see despite the truce established at the end of GVK, but he will be there to make the story more than a big ape adventure. Now, I hope, because they're just saying that it's the sequel to Godzilla vs. Kong and that the MonsterVerse is continuing, right? I want it to be another Godzilla film. That's what I want. I just want a Godzilla film. I don't think we've seen enough Godzilla. He is what started the MonsterVerse off. I think Legendary would be doing a disservice to themselves moving away from Godzilla now at this quite, you know, infancy of the franchise. You still need to keep him around, and I don't think they've done enough to justify and earn going away from that character. So yeah, equally unknown is the title, which, if not Son of Kong, surely isn't Godzilla vs. Kong 2. A rumoured working title is Origins, and taken at face value gives the impression Wingard and Legendary will dive into where the Titans came from. But we have heard where they come from. Like, they are, it's a lot of it's told in the comics and things like that. So I hope it's not that. But I mean, it's looking likely. Maybe, if that is the working title Origins, but it might be the Origins of Kong. But again, we sort of know that as well. There have been hints of what the Titans' origins are in each MonsterVerse entry that were expanded on little by little in a manner that is far from satisfactory. I kind of disagree. They don't need to be explained. When Monarch discovered the Hollow Earth, it became clearer that Titans first resided in its depths and early people worshipped and fought alongside them. Soon, it was then revealed Godzilla's species and Kong's warred for dominance. Materials telling the extended lore filled in some of the gaps. But as far as the films go, we don't yet know what that war looked like. We don't need to see it. The next film, which we'll call GVK 2 for now, and its supplemental material that there is bound to be from Legendary Comics, may show us. Again, I sincerely hope not. But there you have it. I mean, it is continuing. It's good to see. We've got a release date. Godzilla's going to be back. What do you think? Share any of my sentiments. Let me know down below. Also, ladies and gentlemen, consider checking out my Teespring store. Supporting the channel via this way does go a long way. But also, not only that, you do get to wear some awesome merch. These are one-of-a-kind designs designed for me by my graphic designer. We, of course, have our Clown World line, which is in mugs, hoodies, t-shirts. We've got Space Jeebus. And then for something a little bit different, we, of course, have right down at the bottom right here, we have our Pulsar GTIR. Also, ladies and gentlemen, consider checking out and supporting my second channel, which is Car Nonsense. This is a vlog and car channel. You can find links to this in the description box, along with my Teespring. Please do consider supporting.